Imagine this for a moment. You step outside to your tiny patio, the one that usually feels a bit flat and unfinished. But today, the edges are alive. Broken tiles sparkle in the light like a handmade mosaic. Glass bottles glow softly as the sun moves across the sky. Lavender brushes your ankles, and a simple brick border suddenly looks like the entrance to a storybook garden. Nothing here is expensive, nothing is impossible to build, yet everything feels transformed. This is what happens when your patio edges stop being empty lines and start becoming the frame of your own backyard painting. Welcome back to Backyard Fortune, the little corner of YouTube where small spaces and simple materials turn into warm, living stories. Today we're exploring patio edging ideas that are realistic to build, kind to your budget, and full of that quiet, storybook magic you've been dreaming about. If you enjoy videos like this, upcycled garden borders, tiny backyard makeovers, and cozy European cottage vibes, please hit subscribe and turn on the bell, because this is part of an ongoing series. And if you find even one idea you'd love to try, share this video to your WhatsApp or Facebook, so more garden lovers can join our little family. For everyone who watches, shares, and supports this channel, I genuinely wish you long life, good health, and many peaceful mornings in your garden. One. Broken tile storybook patio border. Imagine kneeling beside your patio on a quiet morning, the air still cool, and a handful of broken tiles resting in your palm, shards of color, shape, and forgotten stories. As you place each fragment along the soil, something ordinary begins to shift. The border takes form like a puzzle assembled by sunlight itself, each piece catching a different tone of lavender, thyme, and the soft white petals swaying nearby. There's beauty in the imperfect edges, the tiny chips and scratches. They whisper of floors once walked, cups once held, moments once lived. And now, in your garden, they find a new purpose, framing the patio like a hand-painted illustration from an old European tale. The flowers spill gently over the curve, softening the handmade mosaic until it feels as if the earth and ceramic have always belonged together. This border doesn't shout, it glows quietly, inviting your eyes to wander and your thoughts to slow. It reminds you that transformation rarely needs perfection, only patience, warmth, and a willingness to see magic where others see waste. And as the sunlight shifts, touching the mosaic with a warm blush, the garden hums its gentle gratitude. A perfect moment to transition toward the next idea waiting just beyond the edge. Two. Upcycled sunlit glass bottle patio edge. Picture a quiet afternoon garden where sunlight slips through colored glass as softly as breath on a cold morning. Here, bottles once forgotten, green, amber, and clear, stand gently in the soil, their curved shapes forming a glowing border around the patio. Each one catches the light differently. Some shimmer like old cathedral windows, others glow warm like honey held up to the sun. Behind them, alyssum and violas spread their tiny blooms as if offering a soft applause. Creeping thyme fills the gaps, brushing the glass with its scent, grounding the brightness with something earthy and real. Together, the colors, glass, leaf, and petal, dance in a quiet conversation that shifts as the day unfolds. This border doesn't demand attention, it simply radiates, a soft lantern line guiding your eyes from stone to soil. There is something humble yet hopeful in these repurposed bottles. Objects once emptied and cast aside, now standing proudly as part of the garden's rhythm. They remind us that beauty often comes from giving new life to what we already have, letting sunlight rewrite the story of forgotten things. As the day leans toward evening, the bottles gather the last golden rays, shining gently like a farewell whisper. From here, the path leads naturally to the next idea, another small transformation waiting to be discovered. Three, Driftwood and Pebble Woodland Patio Ribbon. Imagine walking into a garden where the edge of the patio feels like the beginning of a forest trail. Driftwood, bleached by sun, softened by water, and shaped by time, rests beside a winding ribbon of smooth river pebbles. Together, they create a border that looks less like something built, and more like something discovered. Ferns unfurl their bright green fronds, brushing lightly against the driftwood. Hostas spread their textured leaves nearby, gathering shadows in every fold. Moss fills the tiny spaces between pebble and soil, softening the line until border and earth blend into one continuous thought. There is a quiet music in these materials, the kind only the natural world can compose, wood whispering of tides, stones humming with the memory of flowing rivers. This edging invites stillness. It reminds you that a garden doesn't need perfect symmetry to feel whole, it needs pieces that carry stories. Driftwood carries its journey from water to land. Pebbles carry the echoes of streams. And when placed together at the edge of your patio, they create a moment where the wild world steps closer, yet remains gentle. As the breeze moves through the leaves and light catches the curves of wood and stone, the border becomes a soft threshold, an invitation to linger before discovering the next idea waiting in the garden. Four, Pallet Wood Mini Raised Patio Stage. Imagine stepping onto your patio and finding the flowers looking back at you, lifted just high enough to meet your gaze. A simple wooden frame, built from pallet boards that once held cargo and traveled who knows where, now stands quietly at the edge of your patio. Filled with soil and wrapped in sunlight, it becomes a tiny stage where blooms rise as the main performers. Mini sunflowers lift their bright faces, catching every ray of morning light. Foxgloves, tall and gentle, sway as if greeting you with soft bells. Salvia sparks deep color at their feet, painting the raised bed with strokes of violet and blue. The wood, once rough and forgotten, now feels warm and intentional. Its grain tells stories of journeys past. Its new purpose tells of a garden that believes in second chances. There's something grounding about this small elevation. It adds depth without demanding attention, offering a subtle shift in height that changes the entire view. It draws your eyes upward, slows your steps, and gives your patio a sense of quiet theater, where every bloom stands a little taller simply because you gave it room to shine. And as the day deepens, the raised border becomes a frame for sunlight and shadow, guiding you gently toward the next idea waiting just around the corner. Five, Cottage Brick and Wildflower Framed Path. Imagine a path that doesn't simply guide your steps, but warms your heart before you take the first one. The curve of weathered bricks, each softened by time, lines the patio like a quiet invitation. Their warm tones glow gently in the morning light, forming a familiar rhythm you've seen in old European villages, where gardens spill over with stories and blooms. Behind the bricks, wildflowers gather like friends leaning in for a conversation. Lavender brushes the air with calm. Pink roses lift their soft petals as though offering a blessing. Salvia flickers in vibrant purples, while small white daisies dot the scene like scattered stars. Together, they blur the line between structure and nature, creating a border that feels painted rather than built. There's something grounding about this design. The bricks add steadiness, a reassuring frame. The flowers bring softness, reminding you that the garden thrives in its gentle imperfections. The two elements, earth and bloom, meet here in a partnership that echoes balance, peace, and the joy of simple beauty. As you move along the path, the world seems to slow. Every curve leads your eyes toward the next color, the next texture, the next quiet moment. And from this soft, blooming transition, the next idea begins to unfold effortlessly. Six, terracotta halo her border. Imagine walking along your patio and catching a gentle wave of fragrance, something earthy, bright, and unmistakably alive. At your feet, cracked terracotta pots lie on their sides like small, open vessels of possibility. Each one becomes a tiny cradle for herbs, rosemary rising confidently, thyme spilling softly, oregano weaving its way forward with quiet determination. These broken pots, once discarded without a second thought, now form a warm terracotta halo hugging the edge of the patio. Their sun-baked color glows against the surrounding greens, adding the rustic charm of old Mediterranean villages where herbs grow close enough to touch as you pass. There is a comforting honesty in the way each pot rests imperfectly, its chips and fractures becoming part of the story. The herbs lean outward, brushing the air, offering their scent freely, reminding you of dinners shared, hands washed in fragrant leaves, and quiet afternoons spent tending to small things that matter. This border doesn't demand symmetry. It thrives in its gentle rhythm, each terracotta pocket echoing the next like soft footsteps along a familiar path. And as sunlight warms the clay, the herbs seem to glow with gratitude, creating a moment of peace before guiding you toward the next idea waiting to unfold. Seven, rope and log country path edge. Imagine a warm countryside walk where the simplest materials guide your steps, wood shaped by seasons, ropes softened by time, and the gentle hum of plants growing close to the earth. Along the patio, short logs stand in quiet intervals, each one a humble guardian of the path. A natural rope weaves through them, looping gently like a line drawn by hand, imperfect yet full of intention. Creeping thyme spills softly at their feet, releasing its subtle fragrance when touched by a wandering breeze. Gravel crunches lightly underfoot, adding rhythm to the space. Small shrubs lean closer, as if drawn to the rustic charm of this border that feels both familiar and comforting. There's a timeless honesty to this design. It doesn't try to look grand or elaborate. Instead, it leans into simplicity, the kind found in old European villages where gardens and pathways are edged by whatever the land provides. Wood, rope, stone, and green. Together, they create a border that feels like a gentle boundary, not a barrier. And as sunlight moves across the logs, highlighting the grain and knots, you might notice how even the smallest details hold beauty. With each passing moment, the rope and log edge feels less like a garden feature and more like a soft welcome, guiding your eyes toward the next idea waiting in your backyard journey. Eight, secret garden curved stone border. Imagine discovering a quiet edge of the garden where the stones seem to have placed themselves. A soft curve forms along the patio, built not with precision but with patience, each stone carrying the memory of rain, frost, and countless seasons. Together, they create a border that feels older than the garden itself, as if it has been guiding visitors for generations. Low flowers gather close, spilling gently over the stones in soft pastel shades. Alyssum drifts like white lace. Lobelia introduces deep blues that echo twilight shadows. Moss nestles in the crevices, adding a whisper of age and mystery, while creeping ground cover wanders freely, softening every hard edge. There's a subtle intimacy in this border. It doesn't rise high or draw attention. Instead, it sinks quietly into place, inviting you to slow down as you trace its gentle line. The stones seem to pulse with a grounded calm, reminding you that even the simplest materials can hold beauty when allowed to rest naturally. And as sunlight warms their textured surfaces, the garden seems to breathe. Here, in this meeting of stone and bloom, lies the heart of a secret garden, quiet, inviting, and timeless. From this soft curve, the next idea unfolds like a path waiting to be followed. Nine, grass carpet soft transition edge. Imagine stepping onto your patio and feeling the world soften at your feet. Between the firm stone slabs and the gentle chaos of the garden bed lies a narrow strip of green, simple, quiet, and unexpectedly elegant. It's just grass, yet somehow it becomes a small moment of calm. A soft carpet that welcomes your steps and ties together the structure of the patio with the wildness of the flowering beds. The blades stand close and dense, catching the morning light like threads of silk. Creeping thyme nestles nearby, offering a faint herbal scent with every shift of the breeze. A thin, almost invisible edging keeps the line crisp, allowing the grass to speak for itself, uncomplicated, fresh, and sincere. What makes this border special is not its size but its gentleness. It doesn't compete with the blooms or demand attention. Instead, it rests quietly in the space between, offering balance. A reminder that even the smallest details can transform a garden from a collection of parts into a cohesive story. As you follow the green ribbon from one end of the patio to the other, the transition feels seamless, like a breath taken between thoughts. And just beyond this soft line, another idea waits, ready to bring new depth and beauty to the next corner of your garden. Burlap flower pocket patio border. Imagine wandering along the edge of your patio and finding a line of soft, earth-toned fabric embracing the soil like a gentle ribbon. Burlap, simple, humble, and familiar, stretches across a small wooden frame, forming pockets filled with blooms that spill downward in bright cascades. Calibrachoa trail like tiny bells catching sunlight. Nasturtiums pour out in warm oranges and reds. Small petunias fall lightly over the edge, softening every corner with color. There is a tenderness to burlap, the way its coarse fibers cradle delicate roots, holding life gently yet firmly. It feels handmade, crafted with care rather than precision, evoking the quiet creativity of old cottage gardens where nothing was wasted and everything had purpose. As you brush your fingers along the pockets, the flowers sway, releasing the faintest notes of greenery and morning warmth. This border becomes more than decoration. It becomes a conversation between texture and bloom, fabric and soil, human touch and nature's response. It is rustic and imperfect, yet all the more beautiful because of it. And as the flowers continue their slow, graceful spill toward the patio, they draw your eye forward, inviting you to follow their color into whatever idea the garden reveals next. So, which border would you try first in your own patio? Broken tile storybook edges, glowing glass bottles, or something simpler like brick and wildflowers? Tell me in the comments. I read as many as I can, and your ideas help shape the next videos on this channel. If this video gave you even one new idea, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it to WhatsApp or Facebook so other garden lovers can find it too. Thank you for spending your time here with Backyard Fortune. I hope your patio edges become the frame for many happy memories. Until the next video, stay kind, stay creative, and may your garden always feel like home.